Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. First of all, apologies for a slight amount of derpiness there. I had some technical difficulties with the camera crapping out on me, and I had the wrong stream status screen up. I wanted stream starting rather than stream ending, such as the peril when you do multiple streams during the day. Anyway, we've got another new debut on the channel, as today we're playing One Deck Dungeon by Asmadi Games. In this one, you take control of one of 5 brave heroes to go on a dungeon, and that's what we're doing today. So the dungeon we're going on is the Dragon's Cave, and all of this will make sense a little bit later as we go into this. So all on peril. Looks like we've got armor 2, and then there's a special ability here for Dragon's Cave. Hall of Statues. We have to spend an extra 5 time before my first turn on each floor. And we also have to counteract that with a yellow die. So we'll be using... So let's actually meet our character. We've got the witch that we're taking out today. And we've got 4 different colors of dice, actually. We've got a nice even balance. We've got 2 yellow for physical attack. 2 I'm using pink for agility. I think you're supposed to use purple for that, but we'll go with pink. 2 blue for magic, and 5 health. We've also got a heroic feat. We can spend a time to roll 2 black dice, or 3 time to roll 3. Discard 1 rolled die, then roll a yellow die. Then roll a yellow die for each odd die in my pool. I can't use that on a boss. Or on a peril, I can reroll up to 2 dice or gain a black 3. And I'm just trying to make sense of when I'm able to use my skills. Use skills and place dice. Okay. So our goal here is to cover as many active challenges as we can. Anyway, it'll probably make more sense once I jump in. So, what say we jump right in? The way you pass time in this game, as I mentioned, is discarding cards from the deck. So to start a turn, we have to discard 2 cards. In this case, we'll be discarding 7 because it's our first turn in the dungeon. 1, 2, 6, 7. And then we'll put out 4 doors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was Explore. That was our first turn. So now we start a new turn. We're discarding 2 more cards to pass time. We'll go into one of these rooms. Let's go into this room first. So our first room up, we will find a fire elemental. I'll explain how this works at the end of the turn, but yowza, this is going to be a tough one to get through. So we'll have to use our... Yikes, we'll have to use our blue and purple dice, blue and pink dice only. So basically our goal is to cover as many of these as we can and try to survive. So we are going to have an encounter, but we will put a health point on our witch. If we take 5 health points of damage, we lose. There's nothing for yellow there, so I'm not going to bother covering those. I'm not going to bother rolling those, even though technically on an encounter you would. Let's see here. Okay, so start special ability only, which I did that. Then we don't have a peril choice. We could use a heroic feat, but we don't have the dice to do that. Or do we? Yeah, I think we're going to... I think we are going to do that. So we're going to spend 3 time to roll 3 black dice. So we'll deal with that first. Then we roll a yellow die for each odd die in my pool. So I get my 3 black dice. Right, yep, okay. Okay. Wow, there are heroic dice. I spent the 3 time to roll the 3 dice. Now we roll everything. Okay, so now we gather and roll everything up. All right, so those are the dice that we have to assign. We've got a 5 and a 1 in blue, 6 and a 5 in pink, and 3 and 4 in yellow. And I'm just double checking, but I'm pretty sure I'll replace called the dice pool. Okay. Use skills and place dice, and we have to try to cover as many active cards as we can. Do we need to match colors? I'm pretty sure we do, though. Gain a black heroic die by discarding any two. Yikes. I can't discard my blue dice because that would give me a black 1, and I don't want that. Heroic dice can be used as if they were any color. A small box can only be filled by a single die matching its color. Okay, so we'll go with... Let's see, what do I want to do here? Well, we can cover up both of the pink challenges with a pink 6 and a 3. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to clear all of this. So, the yellow dice are useless on this encounter. I'm going to cover... Well, I can only cover the black 3... or the blue 3. Then I'll use my heroic dice to cover the 11. So I do take another point of damage and lose a time. So that's another card off the top of the deck. The encounter's over, though. So now that the encounter's over, we've got a choice of how I want to use this. So I can claim loot. I could use it either as experience toward leveling up. I could use it as either experience, extra items to give me more dice and additional health, or a, what is that, a skill probably? Yeah, that looks like a skill. Which I think we're going to use that as an item. So I'll slide that over here, covering that like so. So now that'll give me an additional blue die and another point of health. Okay, so now that's my dice pool. These can go back. And now we have the start of a new turn. So we'll discard 2 more cards, and then we'll go into this encounter. So let's see what we find here. We find a pit of spikes. We can either choose to climb around it, which will also take 3 time, or try to jump over it. We would get 3 experience, another blue die, or a new skill with an armor crush. That skill is not going to be that useful. And I don't have the pink dice to clear that. I think we try to... Let's choose one of the 2 options. Yeah, I think we're going to try to climb around that. So we'll use our yellow dice to do that. We could potentially use our heroic feat, but no, we're not going to do that. So we only roll the yellow dice because those are the only dice relevant to the choice we made. Okay, we'll use our skills, which I don't think... Now let's see here. 3 and a 2, that's 5. That won't do. Let's see, a big... Use any number of dice to fill a wide box. Okay. So now I can use my skill, which looks like it just lets me either reroll 2 dice or gain a black 3. I'll use that to gain a black 3, since that'll be just enough to place it over top of the climb around. And I discarded the 3 time already for that. So now that goes away, and now how do I want to take this card? Do I want to take it as another blue? Actually, I can't take it as another blue, so I'm taking it as experience. That's 3 experience there. Because I have a limit at level 1 of 1 item or 2 skills. And 2 skills. Alright, so now we start another new turn. 1, 2. And we'll look at this encounter next. So let's see what we find here. We find an ogre. Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem. How do we flee from that? I think... Because, yeah, we're not going to have the dice to clear that. I think we just decide, yeah, we're going to flee from that. So, yeah, that ogre is very much going to stop us cold here if I don't flee from it. Which I think the plan is going to be to flee from it. I'm trying to refresh my memory and figure out how. Because we're going to take a lot of damage, assuming I'm not able to clear that ogre. And I want to flee from it, so I probably just a matter of saying, yeah, we're going to flee from the encounter. Turn 1, explore, enter a room. If you flee, turn ends immediately. Yep, okay, so we just declare we're going to flee from the ogre, turn ends immediately. So now we'll start a new turn at this point. And what do I want to do now? I'll go check out this room. So let's see what we find here. We find a phantom. Ethereal, discard all 1s and 3s rolled immediately. And have all the time for my magic dice to be inactive. Although, I think we will have an encounter there. And I'll use my hammer smash here to roll 3 black dice, 3 heroic dice once again. I'm very surprised my blue dice are completely useless in here. Okay, that roll, however, is not. A black 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we definitely need a lot of high dice. Let's see what we get on our roll. Wait, I haven't been paying attention to clearing out the other dice. So we should have 2 more damage on us. Because I haven't been paying attention to the special abilities up there. So I immediately discard all 1s and 3s rolled. That is pretty gross, because that loses me all of my yellow dice and 1 of my blue. And I can't take a heroic die. I can't take a heroic black die using my blue dice, because that would only be a 2. Ugh, yuck. Well, I can clear most of these, surprisingly. I'll use a black 4 to clear that armor. Then I'll use... Actually, I can use a blue 2. Actually, no, I can't. I need a damage point up on the main part of the encounter. And I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. There we are. Okay, I'll use a pink 4 right over there. Then this pink 4 is basically, well, there's no basically about it. It is completely useless. I'll use a 6 on there. I'll use my potion to heal 2 damage as well, even though I'm going to be taking that right back. And I'll use my heroic 5 on the 3 damage, on the 2 damage. So I lose 2 more health and 2 time, which is discarding 2 more cards. And I'll take that as experience, so now I will level up with 1 point left over. And now level 2 gives me 3 items and 3 skills. I get a potion for reaching level 2, and I get a guaranteed heroic die. And now I need 8 experience to level up, so I've got 1 experience left over. Okay, that gives me another potion for reaching level 2. Start of turn, I'm going to use that to immediately heal for 3 damage. And actually, since I don't need to put anything on this side, I'm going to put my health tokens over here. So I do get a guaranteed bonus die to start every encounter. But with that being said, discarding this turn, For 2 time, I will use that to explore and put out 3 new rooms. I definitely don't want to go deal with that ogre. Then we'll discard 2 more cards to go into this room up here. So let's see what we find up here. We find Glopping Ooze. Uh-oh. Spend a time for each 1 rolled, and now my magic actually works. My blue dice actually work for a change. It's my agility dice now that are useless. Okay, so now we determine if I want to use my heroic ability, and I think I do. So I'll spend 3 time to roll 3 black dice. Oh, and then discard a die, then roll. I haven't been doing my heroic feat well at all, or right at all. So discard a rolled die, then roll a pink, and then roll a yellow die for each dice, and for each die in my pool. So looks like, okay. So we use the heroic feat, allow me to roll black heroic dice, which can be used as any color. And then resolves it completely. Okay. Wow, so we discard a 3, and then we're rolling a yellow die for each 3 in my dice, in my pool. Is that after? No. Right now the 3s are in my pool, which is very welcome right now, because I need 3s. Okay. That's not totally useless. But let's go ahead and get a roll here. Okay, well, I think these dice are basically actually kind of useful. So let's start with covering up. So we have to cover that, that, and I'll use, let's see. Heroic die works as anything, so I'll use that up at the Hall of Statues at the main entrance. Let's see. What do I not want to have happen here? Unfortunately, since I gain the lower, let's see. What I need is a, well, I can deal with the black 5 because that's another 2 time. I definitely need that yellow 4. Looks like I'm going to end up taking another damage here. Unless, well, am I going to end up taking another damage? The question is if I can get a heroic 5 out of this, and I'm not sure I can right here. I think the answer is no. I won't be, well, so I'm going to use that as well. I'm definitely going to be taking damage here, so I'm going to cover that and that. I can discard the pink 6 and the yellow 5 to get a heroic 5, which I can use on top of the 2 time, which I think is what I'll do. So I'll discard those 2, turn that into a heroic 5, and get that. So I leave the 6 uncovered, which gives me another damage and another time. But I can defeat the Glopping Ooze. I could use it as a sword, 3 more experience. I had 1 floating from the... Actually, do I keep leftover experience from leveling up? Let's see, remove the cards with enough... Oh, they go on the side of the level up card. Okay. So remove the... Since it theoretically returns the cards to the box, it seems like those cards get... Seems like the leftover experience just floats away. So I can either use the glooping ooze as more health, as another combat die, another yellow die and more health. As a potion, I can change 2 of my non-heroic dice to be 6s. And we didn't roll any 1s. I wasn't paying attention to that. Or as 3 experience. I think... Oh, we should have had a guaranteed black die as well. Just for grins. Okay, that's a 5. So, actually, I think I would have cleared that. No, I wouldn't have cleared that. I can have 3 items now. I think I will take that. How do I want to take this? I usually need my potions for healing, so I'm going to take that as an item, which will give me access to more yellow dice. Seems reasonable. Then we'll discard 2 more time to start our next turn. And we will go to this room. So let's see what we find here. We find an arrow wall. Okay, I think we're going to use the use our magic shield. We've got plenty of blue dice for this one. I've paid the time cost. I'm not going to use my heroic feat because I've got 3 blue dice. In theory, I should be able to clear this pretty easily. So let's see what I get here. Wow! 3 dice and they total up to exactly 6. So actually that does work, and I will clear that. This one I'll take for the 2 experience. So I'll put those over to the side over here. Now remember, I do need 8 experience to level up. And I should have had a bonus black die as well, which was another 2, so I would have cleared that anyway. Okay, so that's my dice pool. I'll discard 2 more time. And actually, now I've got the option to descend, since now I got the stairs. While visible, place a damage token here for each time spent. Each time there are 3 tokens here, place 1 on a hero and remove the other 2. At the end of any turn, the heroes may descend. If this card is revealed while spending time to start a turn, the heroes may descend immediately, and I think we will. So when we descend, do we take everything out here? When we descend, I think we take everything... discard all doors currently in play and shuffle the discard pile. Okay, so yeah. We're going to take this, and we're going to descend into level 2. Which now makes both of those active. That could be problematic. So now we've got a flame aura, which now requires a 6 and a blue 5 to guard against 2 damage. Actually, that flame aura is probably going to kill us pretty quick, if I had to guess. Although that's only on peril encounters. It's been a while since I've actually played One Deck Dungeon, so I'm actually quite rusty at this game. I'm shuffling the dungeon up off camera, but I actually kind of like this game. I've been on kind of a look for dungeon crawls kick lately, and I forgot I had this one on my shelf. It doesn't necessarily have the narrative focus in it like I would get out of an RPG, but I do still like it. I still do like to pull it out as a quick game on occasion. All right. And then here's our first turn on the floor. So now we have to spend 7 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're doing that for the Hall of Statues plus the turn. And we'll put 4 rooms out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 time, we will go into this room. So here we will find another fire elemental. Delightful. This one gives another pink die instead. We are going to go through the encounter. So we do get a damage there. We need to clear this thing real quick like. Okay. The question is, are we going to use our heroic feat? And I think the answer is yes. So we'll spend 3 time. And I do get a guaranteed heroic die for being at level 2. We're going to need all the dice we can handle and then some on this one. Okay, we discard 3 to give me 2 5s, and then I roll a yellow die for every odd die in my pool. Okay, those are mostly, well, I was going to say mostly terrible, but we can probably work with them. So now we roll everything else in the dice pool. I've got 3 yellow, 2 pink, and 3 blue, and my guaranteed black, my guaranteed heroic die. Yuck. That's not a great roll. So I can use a... So the question I have to figure out now is, how do I just not die? Because I'm very much in danger of that happening here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I just not die. Well, I'll start off with a yellow 3 up on the all encounters by the entrance. That'll have to be my first order of business. That 3 was discarded. Right. Well. Let's see. Okay, well, a 5-5-2 can go clear the 11, and that's probably the most dangerous of the bunch. Because that's going to deal me 2 damage and cost me a time. And I definitely don't want that to happen. Let's see, the 3 can go over top of the time. And unfortunately, I'm stuck with all single dice at this point. And the only 5 left I can stop, and the only thing I can use my black 5 left to stop is the pink 3 to make me not have to discard time. So I have to leave the 2 6s uncleared, which deals me 2 more damage and costs me 2 more time. But I do clear the fire elemental. Now the question is, how do I want to take it? Do I want to take it as an item, skill, or experience? I think we're going to take it as... That 4 experience is mighty hard to pass up. The skill is actually pretty good, though, because that mana font, choose blue, yellow, or pink, increase all of my dice of that color by 1. But I believe... But there's something there. There's a symbol there, and I don't know if it means I have to store dice on it. Let's see if I can find out what that translates to. Maybe the section on skills will tell me. Okay. Oh, I've not been paying attention to my inner fire. Probably would help if I do that. Magic skills, discard from my dice pool, so that's going to cost. So that would cost me 2 magic dice to do that, and I don't think I want to do that. I think I'll take it as another item. So now I'm at my max on items. Then I'll discard from the deck to start a new turn. Let's figure out my dice pool here. So 3 pink. Actually, that's 3 yellow. I do have 3 pink, 3 blue, and a guaranteed black. Let's see, I've already spent my 2 times, so we'll go here. And here we'll find a locked door. We can either, for 2 experience, we can either try to pick the lock, or which will cost me a health and 4 time, or try to bash it open. I need to get an 11 on my yellow dice. Either way, it's going to be the same result. I think we're going to try to pick the lock, though. Because because 2 damage on trying to bash the door open would kill me. So let's see what happens here. I do have to spend a time to attempt to pick the lock. That's only on peril, though. So never mind that. And we can use it on... that I'm pretty sure means we can use it on bosses. Yep. Okay. So we do get the black die as a guaranteed encounter bonus. Gross. That's problematic. Actually, can we clear this with a black... Actually, we can't clear this with a black 3. Well, I can put a 2 up... What is the armor? I gotta refresh my memory on what the armor thing means. I'm pretty sure that means something I need to deal with first. Until I've covered all the boxes with armor, I can't deal with those. Let's see. So I will have to use one of these on the Hall of Statues up top. Gross. Well, I can use any color for that, so I think I will re-roll, but it has to be a single die to go up there. Unfortunately, a black 3 isn't going to help me here. And if I take the 2 damage from this whole encounter, this is going to kill me. So, I think I got to re-roll the... I think I'm going to re-roll the 2 pink dice. Yeah. We're going to re-roll the 2 pink dice. I'm going to see if I can get a 6 to put up on the flame aura, at least. So yeah, we got to risk it. There's a 5, which will well, actually that's not all bad, because we can use the 4 and the 5, the black 4 and the pink 5, to clear out picking the lock. But we will still take a damage from the flame aura. Which means I'm down to 1 health left. Okay. So now our options are to experience another yellow die, or spend 3 blue dice to roll a heroic die, which means I'm either taking it as a skill or as experience, and I think I'm going to take it as experience. Because 3 blue dice to roll a black die is not that great, honestly, from the looks of it. Then we discard 2 cards, and we'll go to this card. We need to get some healing pronto. Flame statues? Uh-oh. I think that's probably going to be where our adventure ends here. 3 experience, a yellow die, and haste 3 blue dice to roll 2 pink dice. I think we're going to have to try to disenchant everything. So we'll spend 3 time. 1, 2, 3. Very appropriate, though. Maybe the dragon's probably harassing us here. And the flame war is working overtime. The question is, did we get everything here? Well, we can use the blue 2 on the Hall of Statues effect, so I can start clearing cards. So I can start clearing dice. This is problematic. The problem is my one I'm one short of being able to clear the flame aura. So I think here I have to re-roll my blue dice and hope one of them is a 6. Because if neither one, actually I have to hope that A, one of them is a 6, and B, the other one is still 3 or higher, so I can actually clear the disenchant. Well, I got half of it, but I didn't get the other half. So I clear the disenchant, but the flame aura 2, 4, 6. I've got a maximum of 8 health, so never mind. The flame aura doesn't just do me in. Leaves me 1 from dead. I can't do math. And then we will take the flame statues as experience. So that's another 3 experience toward leveling up. Then we'll discard 2 cards for another turn. And we'll go explore this last room. So let's see, we'll go into this last room. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a pit of spikes. Delightful. We can either try to climb around it, costing us 3 time, or jump over it. We need an 8 on the yellow dice and a 14 on the pink dice. Either way, we're rolling the same number of dice, but I think the other problem here is I would need all 3 of my pink dice to clear this out, but I also need to be able to clear the Hall of Statues and the Flame Aura. I have a better chance of doing that using the yellow dice if I go for my combat. Plus, I'm also in a situation where 1 damage just kills me. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Let's see. So once again, I'm kind of in a sticky situation here, where if I don't clear that flame aura, it's going to kill me. So I can use the 2 to clear the Hall of Statues armor effect, since I'm looking at a peril encounter. At the very least, I'm going to re-roll this 1, but I'm trying to decide what else I want to roll. The problem is I need to get a 6. I think I just re-roll the 1, because if I try to re-roll one of these, I run the risk of potentially not clearing the climb around. But this needs to be a 6 or the game's over right here. Which that's a 1, so again, we clear the climb around, but the flame aura, 2, 4, 6, 8, the flame aura just does us in right here. So 8 health knocks us down to 0, and that unfortunately will do it for this playthrough of One Deck Dungeon. Nice quick game, actually. I'd forgotten I had this one in my collection, but I do enjoy it. I think it's got enough mitigation with the ability to discard for the hero dice, where it doesn't feel like, well, it does kind of feel like you're basically a victim to luck, essentially. So it's a good game to pull out for a quick one if you're in the mood for that. But we're not quite done here yet. I'm going to do a bit of cleanup. Cleanup isn't going to take too long here because it's actually a very small game, since I just got a delivery in earlier this afternoon while I was working out, actually, that we're going to crack here on the channel. So fortunately, this game is lightning quick on and off the table, which is what I had in mind, for today. Because I'm going to try to get one more game in. I haven't decided what that last game is going to be yet, but I want to make sure I have enough time that I can set up for tomorrow's episode of Metal Gear Mondays. But yeah, so that's where things stand there. Okay. Just working on cleanup here. I'll worry about bagging everything later. Right now I just want to get this all out of my way so I can bring the delivery in. I can get the tower out of the way as well. We've got a delivery here from something called Quartermaster Logistics. When I first saw the notification in the email on my phone, I was like, wait, what in the world is Quartermaster Logistics? Then I thought about it and I was like, wait a second. I don't think that's actually from Quartermaster Logistics. And I think it'll probably make more sense once I get inside this box. And actually, I need to go grab some labels for what I'm expecting to be in here. So, bear with me, I will be right back. Okay, let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. This is one time where I'm expecting to find a box inside a box. There we go. We've got Void Fill, Quartermaster Logistics. Okay, well, we're going to find out soon enough if there's anything wrong in here, and I stand corrected, actually. There is no box inside a box, but I know exactly what this is. So we're going to pull the box, so we're going to open that up, and we'll be, of course, greeted by Void Fill. But the first thing we're greeted by in here, actually, I want to do this first. It'll make a little bit more sense if I do it this way. So we've got what's called Pimp My Gloom, for Gloom of Kilforth. This is actually my package from All or Nothing Publishing. That's what I was expecting it to be. So it's a set of pimped out components for Gloom of Kilforth, a fantasy quest game, which includes 4 reference guides, a bigger velvet bag, 12 more dice, 6 white, 6 black, 4 ancient standees plus 4 plastic, 20 race art standees, 10 of each gender, plus 20 plastic stands, and 25 larger location cards. So let's crack this open and take a look at what I think of everything in here. I actually played Gloom of Kilforth on the channel earlier this month, I think. I really enjoyed it, too. One of the problems I had with Gloom of Kilforth was I had a hard time getting my hand in the dice bag that I was using for components. And, okay, there are dice. The copy I got from Jester actually didn't come with dice, which is no big deal, ultimately. We've got our plastic bases, our aforementioned tarot-sized location cards, which, yeah, those are actually pretty cool. And holy crap, that is a much bigger velvet bag. And yeah, my hand is very much, you can see my hand is very much swimming in that bag, which I don't mind in the slightest. More baggies to bag everything up. Reference guides that actually fold in a trifold style, so that's very cool. 4 of those for 4 players. Then we've got the classes and races for everybody. I was expecting the ancient standees to be in here as well. Maybe they're probably mixed in here. They're probably mixed in here somewhere. I just didn't find them. But that's very cool. So we can put everything back in that box. Now I'm not going to go through every individual box. Hold on a second. Let me look at this again, because it seemed like the ancient standees were supposed to be in here as well. Yeah, it looks like we got the characters in here, but I didn't see the ancients. I wonder, though. Actually, what's this? Oh, here we are. So it looks like the Gloom of Kilforth Ancient Standees actually came as a separate product. Okay, cool. Now that we got that sorted out, now we can close everything back up. I was panicking for a second there. Okay, and then to complement that, we have got Dark Gloom. Dark Gloom is a set of 12 duplicate cards that are already in Gloom of Kilfirth, a fantasy quest game, but with original artwork that was either a bit too terrifying or a bit too racy for the base game. To add Dark Gloom to your game, either replace your existing cards with these new alternate versions, or just shuffle them into your games along with their existing counterparts. I'll probably just end up shuffling them in, but we can throw that in the box. And as you might guess, in here, we have got everything else for the other two games in the world. So we've got Shadows of Kilfirth, Pimp My Shadows, which will be the exact same thing as Gloom of Kilfirth, or as Pimp My Gloom. And I'm expecting that bag to be mammoth. And Dark Shadows, which should be the same thing. The duplicate cards that were terrifying or racy. Okay, so we can put those together. And no bonus points for guessing what else is in here. Same thing for Call of Kilfirth. It's deluxe upgrades this time, but the Dark Call is still the same thing. Another 12 cards with artwork that was too terrifying or racy. So, very nice. But that will do it for this playthrough of One Deck Dungeon. There will be one more game later tonight. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet, but I definitely want to take a little bit of a break here so I can get some dinner into my system eventually and finish up my laundry. So that'll be later tonight. As for what's scheduled on the channel, tomorrow we're continuing Metal Gear Mondays, trying to make our initial insertion into Shadow Moses Island as we play Metal Gear Solid, the board game. Wednesday we'll be in the boxing ring as we play Title Bout 2 by Straight Jab Media. And Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Star Wars Life Day cookbook as we make the dessert, Clatoine Crepes. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.